The stress is huge. I'm trying to make money, but it just is never enough.
Well, where's the cash? It is complete frustration with her carelessness. Daniela.
The people who go through life thinking that bad things can't happen to good people are fools.
You need to spend money to make money.
You need to make money to spend money.
Oh, God.
Money, 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 money.
I'm Rachel. I'm 23. I work in student affairs at a university, and I make approximately $45,000 a year.
I'm Daniela. I work as a server, and I make somewhere between $28,000 and $35,000 a year, depending on gratuities, tips.
We're very, very different. We are complete opposites.
I'm a bigger spender in the relationship.
Yeah, we'll eat the whole thing. I'll eat the whole thing.
I am thrifty.
Just a small bunch?
I work hard for my money, and I understand value.
Before we got married, I could make $1,000 in a week in terms of tips or whatever, and have nothing to show for it, like just spending.
I could eat soup every single meal, and I would buy that soup on sale.
I would say that most of the cash that I make goes to food and drink and cabs.
She likes being around people. It does affect our finances. It costs a lot of money to give booze to a lot of people.
I have a very skewed outlook when it comes to money. I'm probably gonna die soon, so why not spend it?
I think I manipulate Danielle's impulsive behavior to work for me when I want it to. We had the largest impulse buy of our lives, which was the house.
We got this house at a relatively amazing deal, even though we couldn't really afford it, so we put most of our down payment on credit card.
I feel guilty all the time about spending money, and so I don't spend any.
Rachel is always on me, like, no, we have to keep this, we have to save.
I think I restrain her. I think I hold her back.
I'm not resentful now, but if we get to 50 and we haven't done anything except for save, I'll be pissed.
I don't want to find out in the future if this is like a storm brewing. It's a huge worry for me.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. Impulsive spending with no plan for repayment has landed Rachel and Daniela in serious debt. But while Daniela's cash runs through her fingers, Rachel is scared to spend a dime. I've got to get these opposites on the same page, or there won't be a happily ever after for these newlyweds. Hi, Gail Voss-Oxley.
Daniela, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Daniela.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Come on in, please.
Okay, great. Oh, I like what you've done with this room. What's this going to be when it grows up?
It's gonna be an office.
Okay, so it's pretending to be an office right now.
When Gail went through the house and there was no furniture, it was kind of embarrassing. You know, we have a great house, but nothing to put in it because we can't afford to.
Oh, and your wedding pictures.
Yeah.
You were on that wedding show, weren't you?
Yep.
Was it really an SOS?
No.
Okay, not like your money is.
This is actual reality.
Whose decision was it to buy the house?
I think it was a mutual decision.
Initially, the down payment came from cash advances on your credit cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whose freaking bright idea was that?
Well, it is a bright idea.
It is not a bright idea.
When you're already locked in, it's pretty much your only option.
Okay, but you know what? You're supposed to come up with your down payment before you go shopping?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't do that.
No.
It's hard to be told that you're not right. But I am. I'm right.
What you did was you jumped in and you thought to yourself, we'll let optimism reign and we'll find a way. The thing is that the people who go through life thinking that bad things can't happen to good people are fools.
Yeah.
This is the part where I go through the numbers with you. This is your debt.
Well, those numbers are much lower than they are now.
Oh, God. Where is your credit card debt right now?
About $10,500.
So you don't owe $44,000, you owe $54,000.
That's a lot of debt. It's a lot.
But I'm curious about something.
Okay.
How can you be paying $6,500 a month towards your debt when you don't even make $6,500 a month? Where's that money coming from?
I guess some of it had to have been Daniela's tips, worth a
Can
little
you
extra.
see the difference your tips are making?
Yeah.
I think Daniela was pretty surprised at the numbers. I think we both were. And the fact that we think about her income as her wage checks and not about as her tips.
This is your monthly average of spending. Are you really expecting me to believe you only spend $243 a month on food?
I can promise you that that is true.
Okay, so if you're this good about your groceries, can you not be this good about your clothes, office supplies,
Those
your
uniform.
discount department store, online shopping, your entertainment? You're up to almost $12,000. And the shock value number is this. You're spending on average, based on the numbers you gave me, $6,000 a month more than you make.
Okay.
And if you keep it up in 5 years, you'll be $1 million in debt.
I was shocked. I didn't know that we were spending that much. I felt like we were spending nothing.
So my question is, will you do anything I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you a series of challenges to do. If you do the challenges to my satisfaction, I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you pay down the debt. If you don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. And if you don't have the right attitude, you don't get the money. So what we're going to do is we're going to balance your budget. We're going to get you on a debt repayment, which will get you out of debt. And we're going to get you working together on your goals so that you actually make some progress. If you're not going to spend money on credit anymore, you won't need your credit cards. They're going bye-bye. So go get them. Rachel, my darling, what's the matter?
I don't know. I don't know why that scares me so much.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
When Daniela gets cash, she's like a kid in a candy store.
Daniela spends her money on anything that she can get pleasure from immediately.
While her wife Rachel says she'd rather go without.
She's a lot happier on nothing. She can live on soup. She doesn't need to go out.
But when Rachel wants something, it's a different story.
I think I manipulate Daniela's impulsive behavior. I wanted a house.
So what you're doing is you're using her weakness against her.
I think I'm using her weakness against us.
For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I will reward them with thousands of dollars to pay down their debt. No changes, no money.
3, 4.
Don't destroy those.
You seem very scared.
I like my credit cards.
When she took away our credit cards, it was really hard to deal with. I thought she did it with other people. Why would she take our credit cards? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Cutting your budget by 75%? From $3,430 a month to $850 a month. That's your variable expenses. If I were to give you cash in jars, do you have a sense that that money would just run right through Daniela's fingers?
There's a strong possibility of that.
And that's why you're not getting jars.
It's no surprise that she didn't give us jars. It's not exactly a hard lock to pick.
I asked you to open up a single joint account that had 2 debit cards attached to it, right?
Right.
You're going to take this and you're going to deposit it in that account. And then you're going to live off your debit cards. You'll be able to see on your statement every penny that's spent.
I'm incredibly relieved that we're not working with cash.
A week, you have $100 for food. You have $55 for transportation, $25 for entertainment. See how many drinks you can go and have on $25 a week. Guess how much you have for clothing and gifts?
Oh, but what about birthdays?
And you have $32.50 for everything else. And everything else on your budget includes things like...
Cat food?
Yes, medical costs. So I hear you will actually eat soup for days so that you stay on budget. Which brings me to your first challenge. You have to make a budget. To make this as concrete as I can for you, I have your income in soup cans in $25 increments. And what you will do is, if you are planning to spend $200 on food, you will put the equivalent of $200 worth of soup cans in your food category.
Okay. I think the idea of using soup cans is funny because it does, soup has played a part in our lives and many times.
But that's not all. You're out of the cash business. I'm going to give you a tin can like this, and any money you receive as a tip has to go in the can.
All right, I'll do it for Rachel. Because now I see every cent helps and it's all for us. So we have a grand total monthly income of $5,000.
Yeah.
All right, cool. 200 cans equals our monthly income. So we have debt repayment. How many cans is $1,800?
72.
So mortgage and property is $1,600 a month, right?
1,700.
I think it's staggering how much debt and mortgage we have.
That's frustrating.
Food, we're gonna need to eat. I think that we can live on $300 a month.
So 12 cans.
Okay.
Gail gave us $55 a week for transportation.
But I don't think she realizes that we ride our bikes everywhere we go.
I wish
So
there was
that-
a travel fund. Like,
No traveling. We'll just stay in our home, our unfurnished home. What all this does is inspires me to make that pile right there mine. All of these cans can be for clothes and entertainment.
and baby fund.
Oh.
Are you surprised at how many cans go in each of the different areas?
I'm surprised that 75% of our cans are right there.
Housing and debt repayment. Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once that's gone, that's all the money you can use to make all those dreams come true.
Yeah.
How are the non-jars going?
Really well.
The debit card jars.
Yeah.
I try not to spend anything, and if I need to spend something, I'll just ask, what if I buy this?
Okay.
And she'll tell me, don't do it,
You
do it,
can
or
look
don't
in
do
the
it.
book.
Daniela.
I can look in the book, I know.
Daniela, how fair is it for her to have full responsibility for all the money management and for her?
with all of that control?
You make it seem like it's this awesome thing to be the one that has to say no all the time. It sucks. She sees it as control, but I just see it as having to be the
This is your future plan challenge.
okay?
When you are living on a tight budget and you're managing your money very carefully, one of the things that the Rachels of a relationship have a tendency to do is to button everything down and have no fun.
Sounds very familiar.
Okay, so you have to go back to your budget. I want you to allocate a certain amount. Whatever amount you come up with, you have to spend it. So this is about Rachel, my darling. What's the matter?
I don't know. I don't know why that scares me so much.
Okay.
It's a very hard challenge for me. I'm not looking forward to it. I want that budget to be as small as possible.
The second half of the challenge is this. I'm going to give you a 5-year calendar where you're going to plot on the major events in your life that you want to accomplish or have or do, and how you're going to come up with the money to make those things happen. You'll do some interesting you'll have an interesting conversation. What did you say?
I said babies are the last thing on that list. You have to be able to party and have fun and live your life and do crazy things.
There will be some visible tension when it comes to the priority conversation.
So it's like,
I can hardly wait to see this.
I was ready to leave right then and there. I was ready to go to the airport.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Daniela and Rachel are total opposites in their attitudes towards money. What they have in common is over $54,000 in debt.
We should party now while we're younger.
I do get really scared that that means we won't ever have children.
So did you talk about how different your personalities were before you got married?
No.
To get them on the same page, I've challenged them to make a 5-year plan that will prioritize their hopes and dreams. But first I have to teach Rachel that there's more to managing money than always saying no. So I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm forcing Rachel to spend.
I'm gonna go for the coffee toppy.
Can I have a waffle cone of green tea?
Spending money was fun.
I think the challenge of having to spend money was excellent, especially for Rachel.
It took me until last night to completely spend my portion of the money.
There was no excuse for her.
The point of fun money is to have fun.
Next, the couple started their plan for the next 5 years at the fertility clinic.
So the success rate is usually 15 to 20%.
We went to the fertility clinic on Saturday, and I think it went really well. Do you know of any difference between pregnancy at 28 versus pregnancy at the age of like 31?
No, I would say that no.
Dr. Chang was really informative.
We're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 that very first cycle.
We were really surprised by the numbers. I expected it to be a lot more.
I think she feels now that we have a bit more time. We're looking to budget for a European trip.
If you were to go in the middle of the summer, you're probably looking at about $1,500. But if you can go in September, you're probably looking at $800 to $900.
Chris was awesome. He really made it clear that we had all these options.
I wonder if we could catch any other beer festivals.
So we need a beer tour of Europe for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of thought travel was going to be far down the line, but I feel like it can be a lot sooner than expected.
I was ready to leave right then and there. I was ready to go to the airport. And now that we found out that making a baby is pretty affordable, we don't have to spend as much money on that, and we can
Spend more money on the baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say Europe, but whatever.
What did you figure out in terms of your 5-year plan?
This is our chart.
This is nice. So you're doing nothing in year 1. I see you put Europe before the baby. How do you feel about putting baby off all the way until the very end of year 5?
I feel surprisingly okay. When it came down to it, I guess I don't want one quite yet.
You went spending this week.
We did. You know, it was actually fun. I didn't feel guilty.
That's good. So you must be wondering why I have you in a cycle store. We've had a little bit of a issue with regard to leadership. So this is your relationship rescue challenge. I am sending you geocaching. Geocaching is a high-tech treasure hunting game played with GPS devices. It's fun and it's free. And Daniela has to learn that you don't have to spend money to have fun. You're gonna go geocaching on a tandem bike.
That's awesome.
The back person is usually a person that provides all the power, and the front person is a person that does the directing. Somebody has to steer this sucker.
I'm doing it.
Interesting that you say that, because the other proviso I have for this challenge is that one person cannot sit in the front seat the whole time. You have to change roles.
Learning to cooperate and work together is sometimes difficult for us, so this is gonna be a great challenge to help us work on that.
Daniela.
I can't do this.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Daniela thinks if you can't spend money, then you can't have fun.
It's like a slap in the face to her. She would rather just stay at home.
While Rachel is tiring of holding the purse strings.
I put too much responsibility on Rachel to control our budget.
It's not fun to be the bad guy.
To teach them to have fun without spending money, I sent them geocaching, a treasure hunt using a GPS. But they have to do it on a tandem bike that requires teamwork and the sharing of responsibility. If they complete all of my challenges, I'll give them up to $5,000 to pay down their debt.
The Tandem Warriors. Yeah. Oh. Geocaching is a great way to have fun and not spend any money.
Closer. Closer. I like being outside, and I like things that are free.
Behind the object is a device attached to a building.
It says I'm 1 meter away from it. I got a little frustrated. I don't think I'm 1 meter away from a building. And when I couldn't find the things.
24017. That's our west coordinate.
Well, my turn to lead.
When I was in the front, it was a lot easier. Oh, I can't do this. Okay. It's a really weird sensation to be not in control at all.
Daniela!
I'm sorry.
Stop steering, please. Daniela. Daniela gets too scared on the back, and it was scarier for me in the front. Oh.
Rachel steered over a plant.
She was squealing like a little girl.
Well, not enough. I think the tandem bike represented like compromise.
You just stay center and go with however the driver's going. I think Gail is trying to get us to understand that counterbalance. It's right there. Right here. Congratulations, you found it.
Treasure.
It's a logbook. Told that dude's part was here.
This has been a lot different than you thought it was going to be.
Totally.
What'd you learn, Danny?
I learned that Rachel does too much. She shouldn't work so hard for the both of us.
What did you learn this month?
That we can have fun and still take care of everything that needs to be taken care of.
So, these are the tip tins.
Yes.
Look at this.
Keeping it all and then opening it all up was,
Exciting.
yeah, exciting and very surprising.
Oh my God.
It's like we found money somehow.
This was the money that was just running through your fingers before.
I was amazed by how much money was in this can. I wasn't expecting that much.
What are you going to do with all this money?
Debt.
Good girl. So this month you learn to make a budget and you learn to create a debt repayment plan. And if you follow the debt repayment plan that we've created, you'll be debt-free except for your mortgage in 30 months.
Wow.
However, if when the debt is paid off, you have that $1,800, if you take $500 of that and add it to the 100 you're setting aside right now for your long-term savings, in 40 years, you guys will have $1.8 million.
40 years?
You think 40 years, she's thinking $1.8 million. And so we see the basic difference between Rachel and Danielle to this day, okay? So I think you did a good job. Perhaps if Daniela had just been a little bit more cooperative on the bike and hadn't made such a fuss about being at the back, you would have gotten more. But I don't think so.
She was dying inside.
I know, but you know what? She deserves it.
I believed that she was going to give us like 3,000 or 4,000, and I was mortified.
So I also have for you a wine and beer tour on bicycles.
It's amazing. This whole experience has made my life much better because Rachel is now able to have fun.
I don't feel like she's ruining my life. We're on the same page.